even hurt the next day. Perhaps it'll get worse. But we sleep, you see, and we do this marvelous thing in our sleep. We mend. And tomorrow is not always what we thought it would be. Not every apology consists of words. You must feel it in your spine. The loosening of your posture is synonymous with forgiveness. When we hold on to resentment, the tower leans, and we don't see anything for what it really is. The sun was my most dreaded morning routine. One aspect I could not change, no matter how many attempts at opaque curtains I had draped over top of each other. It was hard to tell whether music made me feel sick or if it reminded me of how happy I could have been. If only I had sung along the way my sadness sang with the birds, persistent with purpose and sharp. There are distance runners that start in my chest, down my arms and legs, and for every mile they run, a coach tells them to make another round. How do I get up and start the day when there are people who run for miles and I just run away? When water starts to boil, it also begins to evaporate. Don't let your anger boil so intensely that you start to lose sight of who you are. There is no poem that will do depression any justice, for that gnawing feeling, the creeping of its footsteps emerging up the spiral staircase I call my ribcage. I think my mind wants to go to war, but my body is begging for truce. I opened my eyes, put 2 feet on the floor, began to walk, and my knees didn't give out. I walked to my kitchen, drank some coffee, looked out the window, and the sun burned my eyes. I allowed it. I walked over to the couch, sat down, turned on the television. I put on a show and didn't pay attention to it. I just wanted to feel like there were people around me. I sat blankly and stared around the room, trying to decide if I could move or if I needed to stay where I was. I've been frozen in time lately. I always mourn in the morning. This is nothing new to me. But I want to know when the grief will shine through the window and enliven me. I want to know when my feet won't be nearly as heavy and when coffee won't taste like the day I didn't come visit you in the hospital. I want to know when being around actual people won't be as terrifying as it used to be. Because now I know that if I'm around them, one day I could lose them, and I'll stay in this vicious cycle. All of this seems so far out of my reach. So for now, I'll lie in the bed as long as I need to. I'll listen to the faint noises of the house settling and drive myself crazy trying to find meaning in the silence. I'll find different ways to make my coffee and close my eyes when the sun hurts. I'll move softer so that I do not let this feeling go unfelt, because I loved you too much to not feel the weight of your absence. Today, I remember all of the selves I ever was. I forgive them for their self-inflicted pain. I commend them for their bravery and dignity. I sometimes miss them in all of their freeness. I ask myself now if I'm more afraid than I was back then, and they answer, fear lies beneath the layers of which you will always uncover, but you will keep flying on. The sea and I, we stare at each other like distant relatives who remember the pain they are bonded by. It will come for you. Through hell or high water, there is no need to dwell or blame or curse yourself. It is not your fault if what you are chasing wants your patience first. Be careful what you long for, because it just might pass you by. A friend once described me as flammable. As soon as I heard the word from her mouth, something inside of me blew apart.